Welcome to another Race Driver Coach Show. I want to talk to you today about something that I know is vital for any person, any race driver that's trying to get sponsorship. Because I know your first port of call, I know exactly if you're looking for sponsorship, you're thinking, right, I need to find a championship and I need to find out how much it costs to run in. Then I need to figure out how sponsorship is going to pay for all of that, which you know doesn't really happen that often because the value of sponsorship doesn't match the cost of racing the car. So it's difficult, right? But also then the next port of call is like, right, I'm going to put together a proposal or draft an email up and I can just send out to as many companies as I can to try and get somebody to bite, to tell them that I'm going to make it all the way, or I can put their logo on the side of the car. And there's got to be, you know, if I contact 100, 200, 300, 400 companies, surely someone's gonna. In reality, I mean, it sounds great, right? It sounds like, yeah, it's very plausible. You know, you give them branding, race tickets, hospitality, track days, the B2B networking they can do at a race weekend, product sampling, showing off their new product, should we say, or whatever it is, their service. It makes sense. I'm sure that someone's going to grab it. You find out, though, very quickly, after like 10 emails or proposals that you're sending out, that nothing comes back. You send out another 10, 20, 30, if you're lucky. By the way, what I've just explained so far about sending out about 50 out so far, most drivers don't even get that far. And they're still complaining about not having the money and how it's really unfair, it's too expensive, what am I going to do? And now I've only sent out about 50, not even that, probably 3. In fact, some people, some drivers haven't even sent out a single one and they're bitching that they can't get sponsorship. Oh yeah, I've sent a few emails out. Come on, you think you deserve to race, to get into a race car, to represent companies, to get them paying you 6 figures, 7 figures kind of sums. If you can't even be bothered to get out there and sell it, that's a different topic. What I want to get to is that you probably found out, if you have done it, that sending out these emails and these proposals, you're not getting anything back. I did it. Most people have done it. Most race drivers that are looking for sponsorship have tried that. And you get to a point where you're like, you know what? This isn't working. This is what I want to speak about today. Because I obviously talk to drivers that have got sponsorship. I've done it in the past. And I kind of get the patterns. Kind of see and understand what these guys are doing that are getting sponsorship compared to the ones that are not. And one very big secret or tactic that they're using is networking. And that's obviously putting yourself into an environment where you're going to meet people, or it's talking to various people who have connections to other people and companies that might be interested. Now, to just sum it up, right, to give you a bit of a better intro to this, go back, and I'm going to show it now. I'm going to take you back to an interview I did with Jesse, and he explained how he got his head around it. Just take a listen to this.
Basically, my original way of doing it was the typical way, you know, build a sponsorship pitch deck and then just email it out to everyone that I can think of. And I thought that would work. And after maybe about 1,000 emails or so, 900,
Yeah.
I got a few answers. Most of those answers were no. And then some of those was like, hey, great deck, but you could probably change it up like this. And by the way, we're not really interested anyways, but we're just trying to help you anyways by helping you out with your deck. And that's about it. I didn't get any yeses. And I was thinking, oh my God, like, how do I get this sponsorship? I'm sending these decks out. I spent so much time. And then I realized, I'm like, if I want to go date a girl, is my first thing that I'm going to do with them just sending them a pitch deck on me, on like why I'm amazing, and they're going to all of a sudden like me and want to date me? No, I need to build a relationship with them. And sometimes the easiest way is by maybe someone else who's a friend of the girl connecting you with them. That warm intro means so much. So I started realizing this is not about sending out decks. It's about building relationships. So then once I started realizing that, all of a sudden I started networking. So I started talking to people who might have friends or connected with people who might have money. And I was thinking, okay, these warm connections are what's going to get me to my sponsorship. I sent 1,000 emails out, got no yeses at all. All of a sudden, I go speak to one person who connects me to another, who connects to me to one more, who connects me to one more, and I get my first sponsorship that covers my season. And since then, honestly, I've really gotten away from the pitch decks. The last time I think I've sent out a pitch deck, like a cold call, cold email type pitch deck. I mean, at least probably back in 2015 or 16 or something like that. It's been a long time. It's just been relationships since then.
So he's walked the path. He's done exactly what you've probably done, but he got to a point where he's like, you know what? This isn't working. If I'm going to date somebody, am I just going to send them a proposal? Am I just going to cold call them when they don't even know me, never met me? No, that's harassment. But so he said, okay, take a step back. I need to talk to people I do know. I need to make relationships with people to get their trust before they'll buy from me, which in other words is they'll give me sponsorship. So how am I going to do that? And then he started networking. And that is my big tip for you. I've spoken to Andy Prio about this, who's someone who got their own sponsorship, didn't have much money at all, made a professional career, very good one, world touring car champion. Dino Zamparelli, Zimmerman. I spoke to 2 drivers this week, same thing. ENZO'S, I've got sponsorship. How did you manage it? Oh, they just knew so-and-so. I knew them. They put me in touch with these people. Or one driver said I went to a network meeting, like a conference, and it went from there. I spoke to somebody. They didn't actually sponsor me in the end, but somebody they knew did, and they just threw me $5,000. And it's like, that's big for me because my budget is like 25. So a sponsor giving me $5,000 for a small championship, that's massive. Networking. That's what links all of these people I've just mentioned, and Jesse as well. Getting out there, face to face, talking to people, them listening to your story, falling in love with your story if you've got one. If not, maybe you can just tell them that you are helping companies develop themselves, grow, market themselves through motorsport. And that's what you do for a living. You help companies grow, and how many times have I said this to you? You help companies grow through motorsport. You're the broker, you're the agent. You can help them get their product in front of people that go to race weekends, and you put a price tag on that and you sell that. Say that's all you're doing. And that's got legs. So if you do go to a network meeting, you see all these people and you got your badge with your name on, and you actually set up a company and a website that does this. It helps companies go to motorsport and kind of find new customers and clients in motorsport. You're the person that can give them that door, open the door for them, hold their hand, and hopefully get some clients for them, some new customers, sell their services, sell their products to people in the industry. You get paid. You get paid to actually showcase them. You get paid to even put them on your car, or you get paid when you introduce them to a professional team. And say if they sponsor this professional team $100,000, you take your 20% and you can spend that on racing. If you want to play the business game, if you want to really get companies to pay for your racing, you've got to be business minded. Meeting people, talking to them face to face, having something that could be of value to them or someone they know, and making these relationships with people is massive. And I want you to see yourself as that in a way where you are a service provider. You happen to race, you're going to spend the profits on the racing, or if they just want small time advertisement, you can use your vehicle to advertise them and do the normal sponsorship package, of course. But if you want to sell them bigger opportunities, you can do that deal as well. The challenge I get is that this is the answer, by the way. What I'm telling you right now, networking and providing value, helping companies get what they want through the sport, that is the real answer for what you need to do to go and get motorsport sponsorship, to get paid. But I know that most of you watching this won't. You'll be like, oh, I'm not very good at talking to people. I don't know the first thing to do. I don't know how to set a website up. I don't know how to, or what networking events to go to. You're so full of hurdles, most people, that they don't even get off the first step. They don't think it's going to work as well. That's another thing. So I really want to hit this home. The answers that I give you in all these videos I've done on sponsorship, these answers have worked. These tactics, these ways of getting money in, they all work. What I'm finding is it's not a knowledge thing that's the problem. The people that are watching this, a lot of people that are watching this, it's the doing. They'll probably tinker with it. They'll probably just dip their toe in it just to see if it works. and then they'll pull back or they'll give up straight away. I think you know what I'm getting at. The biggest reason you haven't got sponsorship right now is yourself. And it sounds rude. You know, some people listen to this like, Enz, I'm in a country that people are just not interested. I get it. But still, the only well, I'll ask you, who's the one person who could actually get sponsorship and make this work? You're going to come up with, I suppose it's down to me. Yes, it's down to you. There's ways that you can get money in to go and spend on racing. If you want to play the sponsorship game, you've got to really play the business game. So this is like a plead. This video is a plead really to say, look, I know I'm going to keep putting these videos out and showing you how to do it and everything, but it's going to get to a point where you've just got to go and do it. I want you to fill next week with 5 different ways that you can go to a network meeting or speak to somebody directly, shake their hand, look into their eyes about your sponsorship package or about your racing. If you want to invest in you or sponsor you, whichever angle you're taking, I want to set the challenge that you've got to speak to 5 people next week. If this is Monday when you're watching, you've still got time to do it this week, because this is going to be the real thing that makes the difference. So please, no more thinking about it. No more looking at the hurdles and getting put off by how daunting this all is. Get out there and find somebody who knows somebody that might just be able to help.